You ever wonder if that like or comment you leave on a YouTube video actually does anything? Well, you might be surprised. For millions of new creators out there, your support isn't just a number, it's a lifeline. So okay, let's really get into this and figure out what kind of support genuinely helps them thrive.
I mean, just think for a second about what goes into making a single video. We're talking hours and hours of planning, filming, editing, and a lot of the time, they're doing it completely alone. It takes some serious guts to put your ideas, your personality, your face out there for anyone to see. And for so many new creators, that's the daily grind, pouring all this energy into something and just hoping it doesn't just disappear into the void.
Okay, so we get why it's so important to show some love, but the big question is how? What kind of support actually helps them grow? Because it's not just about racking up views. It's about really understanding what helps them on their journey, both in the algorithm and, well, in their head.
All right, to really get how to help, we've got to step into their shoes for a minute. Let's look at what they're up against and what that whole creator-audience connection is really all about.
And what's kind of wild is how all these things just pile on top of each other. That creative isolation, it makes the slow growth feel super personal, like a direct rejection. The algorithm can feel like this unbeatable boss level in a video game. And you're dealing with all of it while being completely vulnerable. It is a perfect recipe for burnout, and that's exactly why your support is so important.
And this leads us to a really key idea here, this thing called a parasocial relationship. Now that sounds super clinical, I know, but it's something we've all felt. It's that feeling you get where you kind of know a creator, right? Even though they have no idea who you are. And even though it's technically a one-way street, believe me, the emotional impact goes both ways, for sure. And man, these digital bonds are surprisingly powerful. For us as viewers, it can make you feel less alone, like you're part of a real community. And for the creator, seeing that engagement, that's the validation, that's the encouragement that tells them to keep going. It literally turns this lonely act of creation into something you're all doing together.
So with that in mind, we can basically split good support into two big categories. I want you to think of it like this. A mission needs two things to succeed, the fuel and the heart. And here's the absolute key. You need both. You can't have one without the other. The algorithmic support, that's the rocket fuel. It's all the technical signals that tell YouTube, hey, this is good stuff, show it to more people. But the psychological support, that's the heart. That's the human connection that keeps the creator from quitting before that rocket even has a chance to launch. Okay, so let's get practical. Let's build out your action toolkit. This is your step-by-step guide to providing both that fuel and that heart.
First up, part 1, fueling the algorithm. Think of this as feeding the machine. These are the things you can do that have a direct, measurable impact on a channel's growth. These are the signals you're sending right to YouTube that say, pay attention to this.
All right, this right here is the foundation. Liking the video? That's step 1, the simplest positive signal you can send. Step 2, leaving a thoughtful comment, and I mean more than just a couple words, shows you're really engaged. And then step 3, subscribing and hitting that bell, that gives a video a huge push in those first critical hours.
Okay, want to take it to the next level? Here's how you do it. Watching a video all the way to the end, that's called average view duration, and it's maybe one of the most powerful signals for a new channel. Engaging in that first 24 hours, adding a video to a public playlist, sharing it with a friend you know will actually like it. These are the things that really move the needle. All right, so the rocket's fueled up, now it's time for part 2, supporting the heart. We got to take care of the pilot. This is all about the human element, the stuff that reminds a creator that there's a real, thinking, feeling person on the other side of that screen.
Look, a great video comment is nice, don't get me wrong, but what if you could do even better? Pointing out a specific edit you liked shows you're actually paying attention. Sharing a little personal story that relates to the video, that helps build that community. And hey, if they ask a question in the video, answering it in the comments, that is golden. It proves you are really listening.
Okay, look at this. This is a perfect comment. Why? It's super specific. It shows the video had a real, tangible impact, and it gives them a massive motivation boost. Honestly, one comment like this is worth 100 generic, nice video comments. It tells the creator flat out, what you did mattered to me.
Now, just as important as what to do is what not to do. Those empty comments like nice or the classic first, a lot of times those just get filtered as spam. Vague, harsh criticism like, this sucked, what are they supposed to do with that? It just crushes their spirit. And please, don't be a backseat driver, demanding they make certain videos or comparing them to bigger creators. That just chips away at their confidence.
So what's the end game here?
What happens when you put all this into practice? Well, the impact goes way beyond just helping one creator. It creates a ripple effect.
Think about it. Your positive comments, your thoughtful engagement, it sets the tone for the whole community. When a new person shows up and sees a comment section that's actually full of good discussion and encouragement, they're way more likely to join in with that same vibe. You're not just a viewer anymore. You're helping to build a positive community from the ground up.
And this isn't just fluffy, feel-good stuff. The impact is totally real. When small creators are surveyed, they consistently say that this kind of engagement gives them a massive boost in motivation and confidence. It makes them feel like they're not just shouting into the void. And you know what that leads to? Better, more consistent videos for all of us to watch.
And again, it's not just about making someone feel nice. When a creator feels that safety net of support, they get the confidence to take risks. They can experiment with new ideas, tackle bigger topics, and just be more, well, themselves. Your support is literally the fuel for their next creative breakthrough.
When you boil it all down, it really comes to this: the algorithm. That's just the weather. It changes, it's unpredictable. But these human values, kindness, empathy, respect, that's the soil, that's the foundation. It's the essential stuff that allows a creator to grow strong roots and really, truly flourish. So every thoughtful comment, every time you watch a video to the end, every share, think of it as a seed you're planting. You literally have the power to nurture the next great creator, the next great voice on this platform. So the only question left is, who will you help grow today?